In episode number 274 of the Reasons I'm Broke podcast, we cover She-Ra's revival, the full reboot coming to Netflix.
We also have an update on a topic we've been talking about for the last few episodes, the Disney-Fox deal. What has happened with that?
Hugh Jackman also speaks about his future, possibly with the MCU.
And our comic book highlight of the week is Batman TMNT II, number 1.
All of this and so much more on today's show. Hello and welcome to the Reasons I'm Broke podcast, bringing you the reasons we're broke every single week, ranging from comics, movies, TV, video games, and more. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are recording on the opening night to Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Yes.
We are not in the theater,
No.
along with the rest of the madness. We are here recording an episode for all of you to be released on Sunday.
We are sacrificing ourselves.
That's right. It's all for the Brokehead core.
Yes.
Has it just surrounded your world as well? Is it all over the fucking place? It's one of three things: Star Wars, net neutrality, and the Disney-Fox deal.
Yes. So Star Wars hasn't taken over my life yet. One, I'm still out of work, so I'm not surrounded by that. By tomorrow morning, yes, my whole Facebook will just be Star Wars. Everybody's Star Wars. But today, it is Disney-Fox and net neutrality.
That's all it is, all day,
Yes.
all night. Distractions and things that anger everyone. It's just...
That sounds like
people
life.
are very polarized today, and this whole week in general. And today's not an exception with us either, because I am, as you heard last week, very upset over this Disney-Fox merger, which you were like, Dan, it's gonna fucking happen. Just,
Of course
it's gonna happen. So you're real smug about it, but I'm still like, I'm still angry and kicking against it, like a newborn fighting against life.
Yes.
Or anytime the diapers need to be changed, like just kicking, no, go to sleep, no.
Our son loves to get his diapers changed. What are you even talking about?
I didn't specify Leo. I said a newborn. Most babies,
yes.
yeah.
Most babies don't. Our son is like, yeah, clean me. Get this pee off me.
And also, the weather has gotten slightly colder, I guess, in Florida.
Yes. Don't be talking that. You were wearing jeans and a sweatshirt and a jacket the other day.
That is correct. And I am the barometer to being a weather baby. Whether or not you're a weather baby, if you wear more clothes than me during this winter season in Florida, then you are officially a weather baby. If you wear up to me or less, then you are not a weather baby. It is impossible for me to ever be a weather baby because I grew up in the north where it gets into the negatives. So I am already conditioned for these conditions. So if I wear jeans and a t-shirt, you may wear no more than that. Otherwise, you are a weather baby. That's the Torah of the weather bully.
I would like to point out two things that I think defeat your claim. First, you've lived here for so long that you no longer have the power of the North.
I don't know about that, because I'm still the one with like shorts and t-shirts. Everyone else busts out their jackets and sweaters.
But here's the thing, you get cold, your mind is just, well, I'm only going to be outside for 5 minutes, so I'll just deal with it.
And that's how everyone else should be, and they're not. They're giant weather babies. Deal with the fucking cold for the 5 minutes you're out there.
What if you're going in and out all day long, going shopping, doing stuff?
Like today, I did not wear a sweater. I did not wear jeans.
I didn't wear a sweater.
You're not a weather baby today, but there are several people who did, and they're weather babies.
Here is my second thing to refute your claim. How many blankets do you sleep under?
I sleep under 3 blankets.
Yes. How many blankets do I sleep under?
2? 1?
One. I sleep under 1 blanket. You sleep under 3.
I do get cold at night. Yeah, absolutely. But that's you're vulnerable at night. Your pattern changes.
Why doesn't the power of the North protect you?
Because you're indoors. You're not outside anymore. Whatever your house rules are, or your temperature, it matters not to what's happening outside.
It does. Our house is colder because it's cold outside.
And it's colder in the summer because we have the AC on, and I'll still have blankets on. It doesn't make me a weather baby. You can say I'm an air conditioner baby. You can call me that.
Listen.
I refuted both things.
No. Here's what it is. You have gone so long thinking you're better than everybody when it comes to the weather that
I am, yes.
even though you're not anymore, you still won't you won't.
Then why
give
am
in.
I not wearing sweaters and jackets like every single day in December?
Because then we would all make fun of you because you spent the last 10 years telling us we're babies.
If that were the case, I wouldn't have worn that shit when we went to Disney the other day. We were outside all night and it was going to get colder and colder. So I was like, yes, I permit this much to be worn.
Okay.
So everyone should, Aaron was saying that I should actually put my picture of what I'm going to wear so that everyone can check it and be like, okay, we are not weather babies because we can wear up to that. Like I should be as part of the weather, the local Florida weather. Like, and today you may wear, let's see what Daniel has on. He has a long sleeve t-shirt. However, he does still have shorts and flip flops. So you're allowed a long sleeve shirt, but no more than that. And on to the news. Like this is what it should be every single day.
We should just all be glad that I'm married to you.
Why do you say that?
Because I don't think you're any better than anybody else when it comes to the weather. You like to make yourself miserable to prove points.
Do I not brave the weather better than your average Floridian? Yes or no?
It is because you're making yourself miserable to prove points.
It's a yes or no question. Do I not brave the weather better than most Floridians?
No.
I do brave it better
You
than most
don't.
Floridians, which does make me better
You
at the
don't.
weather than
No.
most average
No.
Floridians.
You make yourself miserable to prove points. That is what you are doing with the weather.
Is that not bearing it as well?
No,
That is bearing the weather.
That's not bearing it better. I wouldn't say that's better. I could jump in an icy river and not complain about it. I'm not being better at it. I'm making
You
myself
are.
miserable
You're
to
bearing
prove
it
your
way
point.
better.
No. I'm just making myself miserable to prove a point. I could have not gotten an epidural and it would not have made my delivery any better.
What's so bad about being called a weather baby? It's up to you if it's negative. I can call you fucking weather baby, and it's up to
You just made it negative.
It's up to the person if they want to feel like that's a negative thing. They can just say, "Yep, I am."
We need to move on. I can't keep having this conversation with you. Just for the record, I bundled up our son too.
He's a baby. He's already halfway there.
Oh my goodness! And granted,
And
our
they
son,
need to be covered, though. That's the thing.
No, our son is warmer than both of us.
He is. He's a little heater.
Yeah.
That's why you don't need as many blankets.
I've
In
never-
general, though,
I've never needed it. I get warm at night. And you know what? I like wearing my jackets, okay? I own 2 jackets and I get to wear them 2 days out of the year.
Yeah, I hear that excuse a lot, too. Like, well, I just like the way they look on me.
Look, can I tell you, I love winter clothes. I love jackets. I love tall boots. I love socks. I love all that bullshit. Can I ever wear it? No.
Go for it. I'm not stopping you. One thing
You're
I
going
will
to sit there
say,
and call me a weather baby.
one thing I will say is Floridians should only own 1 jacket ever in their whole life if they're living in this state, because you should only wear it maybe 2 or 3 times out of the year, and it is not going to wear out that much when you're wearing it. So how many years do most people live? Like 70 or 65? So times
65? What kind of people are you talking to?
I don't know. So like,
People
what's
live
the
into
average?
like their 80s now.
Okay, let's say their 80s.
I will Google it for sure while you're giving your speech.
Well, I also need you for math. What's 8 times 3?
24.
Okay, so 240 days that you wear a jacket is not going to wear it down to the point where you're going to need another jacket. Now, you live up in Illinois.
Why are you multiplying 8 and 4?
8 and 3. Because 3 days out of the year is what you are going to wear it, and I just add a 0 to it. So 8 times 3 is 24. You add a 0 because it's 80 years.
Why? Oh.
So let's say 80 years. And that's 240 days that you would wear that jacket. And the jackets last for way longer than that. I used to wear heavier jackets up north that would go through rain and snow and fucking wind and walking for long periods of time up there. And those jackets would eventually wear down. They would split, they would rip, and you're putting them to use. You're shoveling out there. You're working outside. Here in Florida, 1 jacket, 3 days out of the year, and that's all you'll ever need for the rest of your life.
The life expectancy for females is 81.2 years. For men, it's 76.4 years.
So even less days for men. More jacket wearing goodness.
Okay, but here's the thing. Jackets are like, they're nice. They're fashion forward. Why can't I feel fashionable?
You can. 1 jacket. That's all you need.
No. Okay, this is also coming from the man who has 40 million t-shirts.
Yes, I do.
You only need 7 t-shirts.
I'm bringing it down. Like, I bought some from our store. She's going to count all of them. And while you're doing that, because this is not good radio, hearing you count things, I will say that the way I wear them, and it makes me a little insane maybe, but I go in order. So I put all the newly washed t-shirts on the left side of the rack, and then I wear the stuff all the way to the right. That way they get worn out evenly. So that way I can wear all my shirts evenly at the same time and not wear out my favorite one quicker than the rest of the shirts.
You are insane. I haven't even finished. I'm up to 50 and you still have like 20 more up there. That's 70 t-shirts, not including what's on your body and what's in the wash. And you're talking about people in their jackets. You have 70 t-shirts here. That's not including your formal t-shirts either.
That's true.
70.
I do have a lot of t-shirts.
I don't even have that many articles of clothing.
It has nothing to do with weather babies, but
it has everything to do with it because you're complaining about people owning more than one jacket. And then you're complaining that they won't wear out. Your 70 t-shirts aren't going to wear out either.
Look, I didn't say I was guilty. I was innocent of this.
That's not even including your work shirts. You only have 100 t-shirts. You have 100 articles of clothing to wear on your body.
Let's head into the news for the week, Kelly.
You're just mad because I found out about your t-shirts.
You've been with me for over a decade and you just found out about my t-shirts?
I knew about your t-shirts, but that's fine. It's fine. The news for the week. Starting off with some video games, Jump Magazine has revealed the 3 latest character additions to the Dragon Ball FighterZ roster.
They come straight out of Dragon Ball Super, and we're not far enough to know the third character, but I know a lot of people are watching it
I know
through
the
Japan.
third character.
So the characters are Hit,
Boring.
Beerus,
Cool.
and Goku Black.
Boring. Nobody likes Goku Black.
We haven't seen it yet. He might be cool.
I know enough about it.
You know, a lot of people really like Hit. They really, really like him.
Why?
Because they've seen more episodes than we have. I guess he becomes a friend of the rest of the Z Fighters and becomes even cooler for a lot of people. People really like Hit.
I don't like Hit. He's lame. He just keeps his hands in his pockets of his jacket.
He's a weather baby. And the beach ants.
Weather baby in space. Dragon Ball Super is really good, though, guys. If you were a fan of Dragon Ball Z and you haven't watched Dragon Ball Super, I highly recommend it. It's better than GT, and if you say GT was better than all of it, you don't deserve to listen to my voice. So, peace.
GT was not very good.
It was horrible. Vegeta with a mustache. That's all I have to say.
And the pink shirts.
And he can wear the pink shirts. He had the pink shirts in Z.
He did have the mustache. So you didn't like the scene where he blew away those guys that were catcalling his daughter while he was driving?
No, that's weird.
Why is that weird?
He just murdered people.
Yes, that's
and
Vegeta.
Got away with it.
You don't think he would do that?
You know what's way better? Vegeta in Dragon Ball Super.
It is better, but that's not a bad scene either.
Going to defend his wife from Goku when he instant transmissions into their room while she's naked. Welcome to Japan.
Next news item, Star Trek The Next Generations. We talked about Quentin Tarantino last week, and now he was going to do a new Star Trek. Well, Patrick Stewart, Captain Picard himself, my favorite captain in all of Star Trek, recently spoke out in favor of being in Quentin Tarantino's Star Trek film.
Told you.
This doesn't mean he's actually going to be in it, though.
Doesn't matter.
He's just saying, can you please hire me for this? Because I would make a shit ton on it.
He's going to be in it. Who are we kidding? Come on.
You don't think Tarantino and Paramount want to use Chris Pine in all of them still? You think this is going to be...
Sure, they can use Chris Pine, but you have, what's his name make a cameo?
Picard?
Yeah.
Okay, so not even a full Next Generation episode or movie?
I'm not talking... Patrick Stewart's pretty old now. Come on. I'm not talking a full movie, but put him in there somewhere. We had Spock come back from the future.
That's true, and then there was another Spock. My question is, how mad would you be if they recast Captain Picard as a younger...
Oh, no. No. Who are they going to cast? Who are my options?
Does it matter? Does it really matter?
You couldn't. Because, see, the thing is they'd pick somebody really young, too. And even, how old was he when he was in Next Gen?
You know who they should...
40s, 50s?
Probably late 30s, maybe 40s. You know who they should cast? James McAvoy from X-Men First Class and have him also play Captain Picard.
Shit. I would be okay with that.
So there is one.
There is one.
There's two. Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, man. Engage, huh? It's the Borg.
They're about to fire their protons. They're lying. What's a story war?
They're lying, and I'm the fool.
We saw Disaster Artist, by the way.
We did.
It's not on our news note, but we did.
It was great.
I guess James Franco is now up for many Golden Globes, and he might even be up for an Academy Award, and the movie might win a shit ton of awards. A movie based on, for many, one of the worst movies of all time, The Room.
Best worst movie ever. That's what it is. So, yes, he is actually up for Best Acting in a lot of the things that I saw. Already won some awards of smaller festivals, which is great. I'm so happy. And it's just the whole irony is that The Room was so bad and Tommy acts so bad, but because Franco could imitate it so well, he's going to win Best Actor. It's like when everybody was joking that they would someday make a movie on DiCaprio never winning an Oscar, and that actor would win an Oscar.
How in debt is James Franco to Tommy Wiseau, not only for giving him the rights to his life, essentially, to making this movie in The Room, but also if he wins the award, for Tommy Wiseau's style and acting and movie, because without any of that, we wouldn't have gotten this far. And James Franco's still an amazing actor, and he's won several things already. But this is like, man, as weird and crazy as Tommy Wiseau is, I would be thanking the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Every fucking year he'd be getting a holiday gift. Every fucking New Year's I'd be inviting him to their fucking massive Hollywood parties. He'd have to be in it. I don't care how much he'd annoy the guests, and he would.
It'd be great. I would love to be at a party with Wiseau. I'd just be like, yeah, Wiseau, tell me about your life.
And I would blow up his ego even more. I would give him if he wins, like if I were James Franco, I would give him my Oscar. This is because of you. And this is the Oscar you've always wanted. And that would make his life.
What a story, Mark. Franco did a great job, though.
He really did.
At the very end of the movie, they show side-by-side scenes of what they recorded from the Disaster Artist where they were recreating The Room. And Franco had the most that were 100% spot on.
Pretty close. Like, it wasn't perfect, but it was really damn close. And the camera movement as well set up the scenes almost exactly like the original. And he did do a good job. And I don't know if anyone else could do it as well as he did. I haven't seen anyone else make as good of an imitation of Tommy Wiseau.
I can.
And, well, there were times that he slipped out of it a bit where I can tell, like, okay, he can't quite decide how Tommy's accent is going to sound, because there's some lines that Tommy never said, and it's not just a recreation of The Room. So there were some moments that it took me out of it, but overall, like, I believed it. That is fucking Tommy Wiseau. That's the guy that you see in the movie itself and that you see in interviews.
Using 2 cameras to record and write a book about it. Oh, man, if you haven't seen The Room, go see The Room. Go see The Disaster Artist if you're a fan of The Room. Supposedly, The Disaster Artist already made its money back before the end of the weekend, which was great because that movie cost a lot to make, too. Which
we didn't expect. We were saying no one's going to see this. And we go in the theater. I'm like, there's actually a good amount of people in here. I don't know how many people are in it this week. I don't know why. Like, I know it opened way before this last weekend, but it opened up in more theaters right before Star Wars. But I guess they figured people that are going to go see this movie are going to see it this weekend. And then after this, we don't expect much.
Right. So and I don't expect much either. But if it made its money back, then that's great.
Exactly.
Because how much did they really advertise that movie? Not a whole lot. So anyway, going back to Patrick Stewart in Tarantino's Star Trek.
A much better actor than both of them.
Oh, come on. Yeah, okay, fine.
A much more handsome actor than both of them.
Yes, truth. Definitely. Tommy Wiseau's ass. I'm sorry. And Franco's ass. I guess we've seen them both.
That's true.
Gross. So we do have a quote here from Stewart to The Hollywood Reporter. You got to do his accent.
I can't do
Just do it.
I mean, I'll try it. It's going to be cringeworthy. Patrick Stewart, you did it better last week.
Okay, you want me to do it? I can do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of my dreams is to... I can't do it now.
One of my dreams is... I can't do it either.
You sound Southern.
One of my dreams is to work with Tarantino. I admire his work so much, and to be in a Tarantino film would give me so much satisfaction. So, if he is going to direct something to do with Star Trek, and there was the possibility of dear old Jean-Luc showing up again and doing that for Mr. Tarantino, I would embrace it. End quote.
I would embrace it too, Patrick Stewart. Tarantino, make this happen.
And this was all in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter. Yes, use Next Generation, if possible. If not, I'll still watch Tarantino's movie. And again, I've been hearing a lot of people initially complaining about it, but it's like, look, how much less money could this make than what they've already been doing with Paramount and Star Trek? It's going to be fine. Take a shot. Do something different.
We'll see it. We're fans.
Something else returning from many years ago, there's a Netflix reboot to She-Ra with Lumberjanes creator Noelle Stevenson at the helm, and this is all according to Deadline.
This brings me to a very powerful quote from the show South Park, in which Netflix said, "Last year we greenlit 18 original series. This year we're trying to up it to 1,036. And that is accurate. Granted, Netflix has a lot of great original stuff. That's one of the reasons we stick with Netflix. Voltron was great. I don't see any reason why She-Ra shouldn't be.
How smart is it for them to go after the comic book creators and say, why don't you make our cartoon for us? Why don't you put together the designs, the story, whatever? It's from Lumberjanes, which is really successful. They're about to turn that into, what was it, a cartoon when they were...
I think so.
I think it was Sony that took over the rights for that. And to have her actually, give me She-Ra. I'll take care of it. It's genius. Like, it's a smart move, and it's good for, I think, the medium as well. A character like She-Ra. It's not... People are asking more for He-Man. They're asking more for Thundercats. I think this is going to be the surprise hit of, like, it probably won't cost that much to make because it's still an unsure market and we don't know if the character is marketable. And they're going to rehaul her in such a way that she will be marketable and she will be fresh to a growing generation. So that's the right thing to do, is get someone who understands how to handle these characters, as you've seen in Lumberjanes, and have them do something else. Have them do something that's going to make them way more money than what the comics are doing.
Well, beyond that, too, She-Ra was a little bit before my time. I know of She-Ra, but I never saw any of it. I never really watched the Thundercats or He-Man either. Again, a little bit before my time.
Same here.
But you now have a creator that I relate to, that I've read their work from Lumberjanes, now working on this. Yeah, I'm much more likely to watch that. Not because it's nostalgic for me, but because, I mean, it's the same thing with Voltron. I never watched the original Voltron, but in Netflix's, hands, what they did with it, it was great, and I love the show. So it's the same kind of deal here.
And much like Voltron, the original series is on Netflix for both She-Ra and Voltron. So if you don't like the new stuff, go watch the old stuff.
And Magic School Bus.
Fucking Magic School Bus.
Right on the Magic School Bus.
It's genius. You put in the originals too. It's not going to hurt the new one. People are going to watch the new one. If they don't like it, they'll go back to the old one. This is the same thing of quit complaining. Your old shit is still there. Watch that.
Or they watch the new one and say, hey, let me check out the old one too and see how it was.
It's win-win completely. Completely.
So, just a little bit of background on She-Ra. The classic 80s cartoon was a spin-off of Masters of the Universe, starring Prince Adam, aka He-Man's twin sister Adora, aka She-Ra, in her fight to save Etheria from the evil Horde. And
it is set to release sometime next year, probably fall or winter.
Is that the World of Warcraft Horde? Is that
what
she's
same
fighting?
Shit.
You know what I miss, and they need to bring it back? Oh, what was her name? She was a princess from DC, and she had a little short.
Sword of Sorcery.
Is that what it was?
They named it something else when it came out on TV, but it's based on the comic called Sword of Sorcery.
Yeah, what was her name? Sapphire or something. Amethyst.
Amethyst. There you go.
Oh, man, that was great, too. Netflix, get on Amethyst.
I love that show. It was great. The comic was good, too.
Yeah, it was. Whatever happened to it? Oh, she was going to marry, like, that thief man. Oh,
right.
He was so handsome.
Then it got canceled because no one bought it.
Damn.
So according to boxoffice.com, Warner Brothers' Justice League has earned $613.3 million at the box office.
Oh, but it was a train wreck.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they should just reboot it all.
Get rid of it.
Sell it to Disney.
Yeah. So this breaks down to $212 million domestically and $401.3 million internationally.
So that 401 does put it close to surpassing Wonder Woman's $412 million. That with how much time it's already been in theaters, it's going to surpass Wonder Woman.
Well, that's because a lot of countries banned Wonder Woman because she was a woman.
Well, putting that aside, people that are like, okay, Wonder Woman, that's a successful movie. It's like, okay, Justice League just did better than that. Well, it's not successful, though. No, it's a train wreck. They should get rid of it all.
Get rid of it.
Whatever fits their goddamn agenda. It does better than what you call a successful fucking movie. And no, you're still not going to give it the fucking credit. People that say there's no bias are full of shit. They're not seeing any of this.
They're biased.
Clearly they are. And there's a difference too. Like, yeah, we're biased too, but we're giving you facts. Like, there's a backup to this. It's right there. You can see the numbers.
And I can still look at it, and yes, we are biased, but I can still look at Marvel and say, yes, their movies are successful, and this is why people like them. I understand why people like
Exactly.
them. And I'm not saying that you have to like DC movies, but don't sit here and tell me that it's a train wreck or it's unsuccessful. You can tell me you don't like it as a movie, just like I tell people I don't like Marvel movies as movies.
Mhm.
There's very few Marvel movies that I've enjoyed. But you can't deny that comic book movies in general are very successful.
Exactly right. And they each offer different things.
Right.
And that's the problem, though, is we step in when it's like, okay, well, you can't knock DC for a certain thing and then knock down Marvel for the exact same thing that's over here. One of the biggest things was coming up, and Mexicans on Twitter were coming up too. And
Whoa.
I know, it's really weird.
What happened?
Because normally we're quiet.
Yeah.
We're a humble people.
It's very humble of you to say.
Thank
right
you.
there.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
Brokeheads know exactly how humble we are just by
Uh-huh.
listening to 50% of the show. When Coco came out, we were talking about it, and I was like, "There's stereotypes in there, but we don't bitch because we're just happy that we're represented in something."
Coco was so good, though.
It really was.
Mama Coco. Mama Coco.
It was good. It was very, very good. It did extremely well in Mexico.
Mhm.
So obviously, my people liked that movie.
Your
know?
family's
And
gone to see it multiple times.
they have, and it does have stereotypes in it. It's got the guy with the green Mexican soccer jersey. It's like that's a true stereotype, but we don't get upset about that. It's
You have
just
all
like
the
Speedy,
mariachi people.
tons of mariachis, and then all the
I'm sorry,
mustache guys, and
everybody's not mustache guys.
and like Speedy Gonzalez is the big thing that I always keep bringing up. It's like, yeah, he's not good for it. It's like, no, we like Speedy. Don't ban him. We're gonna ban him for you guys. I know you guys are offended by him. We're not. We're not though. And so it's like Coco, it came out, and someone like in Ant-Man, there was, did you see Ant-Man? I can't remember if you did. There's one character in there who's Hispanic, and he's like, oh, my cousin Jose did this, and we're gonna go rob this vault, and we're gonna do this. Oh man, it's so hot. Like, it's so fucking cringy. I fucking hated it when I was watching it. But again, we didn't rally against it. Like, that's fucking, it's a stupid fucking character. It's a dumb stereotype. I don't like it, but I'm not like, ban that shit, Marvel. Don't do that anymore. Don't put him in Ant-Man 2.
You just pretend he's a different race of Hispanics.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, he's non-Mexican. He's one of the other Central American brown people. But then they were comparing, so like this whole thing came up of, someone was slamming Diablo from Suicide Squad.
Oh,
it's
awesome.
just stereotypical cholo, and someone came in defense of that. Like, look, I'm Mexican. I'll take that over the fucking Ant-Man bullshit that they did with that character. Diablo had much better scenes, was handled better, was a badass, and had more depth and character growth than the other one. That was just a stereotype that was like, well, fuck that shit. I'd never want to see something like that again. I'm also not going to march the streets because we're Mexican. We're like, oh, right, that's fine. We're not going to, get offended by it, but we don't, like, fuck that shit. We like Diablo, though. If you're going to get into it, yeah, we'll talk about the differences. So that's one thing where I'm like, that's fucking rare. The one time where Mexicans on Twitter are like, look, if you guys want to go down, this is a shitty stereotype and this is a good one.
Mm-hmm. Man, I love Diablo. And I love Mama Coco. No,
They should team up.
About Diablo, Mama Coco.
That'd be the greatest fucking... That's what... he's in the land of the dead with Mama Coco.
He would be.
And that's where they team up and they have to get back to the living. And he has to rejoin the Suicide Squad with the help of Mama Coco.
What's Mama Coco gonna do?
I don't know. She's got chanclas. She can fucking throw down.
That was the best part, was the chanclas. I do like the chanclas.
All that passed down in generations. She's got the power of the chancla. If anyone doesn't know, like, if you're in, I don't know what's the state with the least number of Mexicans ever, but if you're in that state, a chancla is a sandal. You use that as a weapon. It's incredible. It's loud. That's the biggest thing, is you slap it against your wrist. It's fucking loud. Dogs, kids, anything smaller than you immediately, like, backs up. There's the one video, if you go on YouTube and type in the power of the chancla crocodile or alligator, there's a little dog, and they're on a bridge. It's this lady and this little dog about the size of Ace, like a chihuahua. And you see this alligator coming up from the water, and you can tell it's aiming at right towards the dog, like it's going to come up and it wants to eat that dog. It's probably eaten dogs before. And then this lady is like, hold on. She takes out her chocolate, starts slapping it on her wrist, and the alligator's like, hold on a sec, stops, starts getting a little closer, and she starts slapping it again on her wrist, and the alligator, like, fucks off immediately. Like, I don't want to fuck with that shit.
And that's the thing about chanclas, is they don't hurt. They just make a lot of noise. You know what hurts? You know what white people use?
Belts?
Belts are big ones.
Mexicans use belts, too.
Yeah, you know the other one? What?
Wooden spoons.
What? No, I mean wooden spoons, but what's worse than a wooden spoon? This is what white moms use.
Wasn't it? I've heard this never happened to me growing up, but it was something like go find a stick or a stitch or something.
A switch is
right. Okay.
Yeah, but that's in the South. We don't.
You're in Florida.
I'm talking about white moms. They use spatulas. The fucking, what is it? Silicone spatulas on the back of the thigh. That shit hurts.
Okay. Yeah, I've never been hit by that.
Oh yeah, man. Because I remember once I was little and mom like spanked me and I was like, aha, that doesn't hurt. Worst shit I could have said.
Yep.
Then she pulled out the spatula for the wrist and I straightened up real fast.
That's immediately when you let her know, oh, I can move up in the level of items I can use. Like you've just opened up a whole world of inventory for her.
Yeah. I remember my dad used the belt on me once. And I blocked it from my memory. Like, I don't remember what it was for. I just remember going in their bedroom and he had his belt, and that's all I remember. So it must have been pretty bad.
So we have two more reasons, Kelli, to watch Venom. The first one was Tom Hardy, where it turns out Woody Harrelson is in talk to join Sony's Venom film. And this is according to The Hollywood Reporter.
Who dat?
Woody Harrelson?
Yeah.
Have you seen White Men Can't Jump?
No.
He's the white guy.
Okay, well, I haven't seen it, so that doesn't help me. What have I seen that he would be in it?
He was in the first Mockingbird?
You mean, man, that's not even what it's called. Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games?
Mockingbird. Okay, Mockingjay was the second one, but it was still the Hunger Games Mockingjay.
Do you remember the long-haired guy?
No.
Not Lenny Kravitz.
No.
Okay, well, he was in that. He's been in a lot of Oscar-nominated stuff, actually. If you, I'm assuming you're going to look him up real quick?
Yes, I'm Googling this Woody Harrelson.
As soon as you see him, you're going to immediately recognize him. You're going to point, oh, the guy from that movie.
I was just about to say, yeah, that's him, but that's Woody Allen. Oh, that guy. Oh, he was in that thing with and I see a lot of lawbreakers out there. Okay, he was also in it, and they were solving the mystery of the spooky man.
Yes,
okay.
Detective. True detective. True
yes.
fucking detective. He was the other guy.
I'm glad you understand me and know who I'm talking about.
By the way, Brokettes, just to break it down, her mind went to, okay, it's like the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Where she went, okay, the Louis C.K. joke where he was making fun of that movie that the one actor was in that Woody Harrelson was also in. Not that movie specifically, though, but he was in a different movie. So you made a 3-point connection. And I read all three, and I said, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I could have said the Lincoln Lawyer. He was also in that.
Was he in Lincoln Lawyer? Oh, you're talking about...
a lot of lawbreakers out there.
He's in the Audi commercials, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm forgetting his name right now.
He's in Lincoln commercials.
Yeah, okay, Lincoln.
But he's also in Lincoln Lawyer.
Why am I fucking forgetting his name right now? He's one of the most famous fucking actors of all time.
Yes.
He was just in The Dark Tower.
He got really good recently. Because remember, he wasn't that good in the beginning of his career, and then Lincoln Lawyer happened, and we're like, oh shit, he's a really good actor.
He was in Twister. He was in Sahara.
He was in Twister?
He was in Twister.
Who was he in Twister?
One of the fucking guys. Maybe it wasn't Twister. Maybe it was Contact. I think it was Contact. He plays like a religious guy.
Matthew McConaughey.
Of course.
I had to type in Lincoln Lawyer.
Brokettes are like Matthew McConaughey. I can't even say that really quick. He picked a bad name.
There's a lot of lawbreakers out there. That's what I'm going to call him from now on.
But yeah, he's the guy from True Detective.
Yes.
He's got good shit going on.
Yeah,
he's a great
True Detective
actor.
was great. If you guys haven't seen that, see that too.
It's fucking amazing. Awesome. I love that they remained friends at the very end through all of the shit they went through. Guy fucked his wife, and they went through this whole case that took them both to the brink. One was an atheist, one was a Christian. In real life, the real actors are actually swapped. So it was kind of cool that they played someone the opposite. And then at the end of the fucking series, they're still buddies. Like, they're like, yeah, we lost our careers. The guy lost his wife and family. They lost everything, but they had each other. Amazing. Great fucking series.
You know what Matthew McConaughey also had? A great stripping career.
He could always fall back on that.
There's a lot of lawbreakers out there. That's on Netflix, by the way. I'm just saying. Throwing that out there.
I'll watch it from beginning to end. I'm not afraid like Louis C.K.
Let's go.
Like,
Let's
I'm gay now.
You know what happens at the end of Magic Mike? The end of Magic Mike is, I'm gay.
Oh no, it's too soon. You can't make Lucy K jokes. You can't view him favorably because of all this shit. No, come on.
Hashtag me too. Okay, so Woody Harrelson is going to be in Venom. That's pretty cool.
That's fucking amazing. Venom is set to release.
That's where we started, by the way, guys, if you got lost.
Venom is set to release October 5th of next year. So you've got Tom Hardy and you've got Woody Harrelson. Someone on my Facebook page, I'm not going to say who it is. It's up to them if they want to come out, but they said you're wasting two amazing actors on this Sony produced Venom film. And I said, no, that is two more reasons to watch this Venom film. I had zero. I'm the non-Venom fan. I think he's a lame character. The only thing he has going for him, he's got a cool design, just like Boba Fett. And then as soon as I said,
say Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur's pretty fucking awesome. Although he doesn't have a cool design because everyone else apparently doesn't like him. But with Venom, it was a movie we had zero interest in. We're like, fuck that fucking movie. Why would you make a whole movie off of him? And they said Tom Hardy's in it. I said, fuck yes, I'm going to watch that goddamn movie. Now they're saying Woody Harrelson is in it. I don't care who the fuck he plays. People are like, is he going to be Carnage? I'm like, who cares who he is? He can be Venom. I don't care if they kick off Tom Hardy.
He could be Matthew McConaughey, whatever.
He can play himself. I have two reasons now to watch this on opening weekend. They have my money. They had it with Tom Hardy. Now they got me with Woody Harrelson. They got actual talent on this Venom film. There's art. There's some art somehow in a Venom movie.
Hopefully it's not as bad as The Room.
Hopefully not. And we gotta cherish the art we're getting now because we're not gonna have it, especially after this fucking Fox Disney deal. All of that is strangled. We'll talk about that later. Actually, we're moving into it now.
Yes, moving into it now. Comcast has publicly dropped out of negotiations to acquire 21st Century Fox, like we knew they would. They were the eBay best friend who bid just to drive up the price.
They were.
That's exactly what Comcast was.
Good job, Comcast. The trolls of billions of dollars. It was $1 billion troll, like tons of multiple billion. And I know the deal is done by the time we're recording this, but we had to mention that Comcast was like, what's it up to now? Okay, cool. We're out. We're just kidding.
Peace.
Have fun. And Fox is like, okay, so you said 80 billion, whatever, fucking billion. In a statement to Variety, the company said that they, quote, never got the level of engagement needed to make a definitive offer, end quote.
So how many billions are they sliding under the table to Comcast for helping out drive this deal up?
Seriously, it's fucking crazy. And even 21st Century Fox came out publicly and they said, we prefer to deal with Disney than Comcast. And it's like, yeah, that's where the fucking money is.
Of course. And speaking of that, we lead right into it. The Walt Disney Company has announced the acquisition of 21st Century Fox for $52.4 billion in stock.
As part of the deal, Disney will also assume $13.7 billion of net debt that Fox has.
It's already paid off.
Oh, yeah.
It's done.
Star Wars just paid for that shit.
Yep.
I hope you guys are happy.
Coco helped pay for that shit, too.
That's true.
Good job, Coco.
Good job, Mexicans.
Mama Coco.
Way to go.
Why do I sound Italian when I say that? Mama Coco.
We have a quote here from Disney Chairman CEO Robert A. Iger. Don't know who that is. I don't know. I've never heard of him. He said, quote, the acquisition of this stellar collection of businesses from 21st Century Fox reflects the increasing consumer demand for a rich diversity of entertainment experiences that are more compelling, accessible, and convenient than ever before, end quote.
We had reported earlier in the year that Bob Iger was retiring. He was done. And then this happened. And he has renewed his employment contract through 2021. Oh, there's more money? Oh.
He's exactly like Hayao Miyazaki, just fake retiring. He's exactly like Mark Hamill to bring it back to Star Wars. I'm retiring. Oh, wait, there's money? No, I'm not fucking retiring from the Joker.
I have heard rumors that this man makes $46 million a year. Would you retire from that? And he just took a 3% pay cut and still makes $46 million a year.
If I were him, I would retire from $46 million a year because he probably makes $46 billion a year. He could have bought Fox by himself. He's the head of Disney.
I get that, but I mean, he wants that paycheck to keep coming in. What do you do with $46 million a year? What do you do with $46 million in your lifetime?
Cocaine and hookers? I don't know what he's fucking doing.
Is that what he's doing? I need to do some more math here. So you can retire at 65, right? And you start working at 18. So that's 47 working years. So let's say you make $47,000. That's only $2 million in your lifetime. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Ridiculous. He made as much as 23 people.
He made more money
In a year.
than every listener on this podcast will make in their lifetime combined. If you were to take every Brokettes lifetime earnings,
maybe Bob
and in
Iger is a
his-
listener of our show, in which case, hey, Bob.
How you doing? I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking kidding.
JK.
Don't. There is now a Mickey shaved red dot on my head. Yeah. God damn. That will forever be the joke of like anytime someone disappears and they badmouth Disney, remember that. Just that laser pointer rifle thing and make Mickey ears.
Oh my goodness. Keep going. Keep going. Let's talk about what Disney got.
So what didn't they fucking get? What didn't they fucking get? The entertainment property all the properties that now belong to Disney, aside from the ones that we mentioned last week, and some of these are repeats, but there's some new ones. X-Men, The Fantastic Four, Deadpool, Avatar, yes, The Simpsons, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Hidden Figures, Gone Girl, The Shape of Water, which we're going to see tomorrow, The Martian, and much, much more. The list fucking continues.
On and on and on and on and on. I mean, good for them. But Disney also assumes Fox's 30% stake in Hulu, which, combined with Disney's own 30%, would give it a majority control over the streaming service.
60 fucking %.
The remainder is owned by Comcast and Time Warner.
Not good for them.
Mm-mm.
Good for them, bad for us. How about that? I'll fucking agree to that. The boards of both companies have approved the transaction, with plans to present it for approval to its shareholders later this year. If stockholders approve, it would then go before government regulators, which is expected to take as much as 18 months. So these X-Men movies that are already planned, like Phoenix, they're already coming out. They're going to be a part of Fox's earnings. That's not a Disney thing. It's not going to happen as quickly. One thing I do think is going to happen as quickly is we're going to see a shoved-in fucking character, just like in Civil War, in Infinity War, though. So that's when I put up that fucking graphic of, is it going to be Wolverine? Is it going to be Doctor Doom? Is it going to be fucking Reed Richards taking Captain America's shield from him? Like, hey, everyone, my claws are, I broke a claw. Oh, wait, not just kidding. It's adamantium. What fucking jokey character that used to belong to Fox is not going to be CGI'd poorly and shoehorned into this fucking movie just like Spider-Man was? And unlike Civil War, that whole fucking scene is ridiculous. Not because of the superheroes, but because fucking Spider-Man looks like a cartoon character and he does not fit in naturally with the rest of the movie.
Absolutely, 100% agree. And yes, that is what's going to happen. We're going to see one of them shoved in there because that's what the masses want, unfortunately. And it doesn't matter that it's going to look real shitty or feel real shitty. They're just going to go, oh, it's so-and-so on the screen.
Finally, I get my Fantastic Four. Yeah, fuck the human toll of jobs that are fucking gone. Fuck the number of studios that people can now go to for their artwork, much less now because it's all Disney. Fuck the amount of stuff that they're shutting down to trim the fat that used to be Fox so that they can just use the good stuff that they had to bring into their fucking company. And people are like, yeah, well, it's all about money. It's like, yeah, it's all about money, but the fact that you're complacent about it is fucking bullshit. Also that you can get your version, once again, like I said last week, of the Fantastic Four or of the X-Men that aren't gonna fucking matter in 2 decades, just like Ant-Man doesn't fucking matter right now. People like that fucking movie. Who's fucking watching that shit in 10 years?
Who's watching Doctor Strange
Who's
now?
gonna fucking watch Doctor Strange in 10 years? Who's gonna fucking watch their version of X-Men or Fantastic Four when when that phase has come and gone, and it will, because everything comes in waves, and eventually that will come back. But in our lifetime, we're gonna see the phase go down, and then the next popular thing will come up, just like the Western, just like superheroes. And at that point, the damage of all of these fucking properties that are part of Disney, the amount of movies that are not gonna be made, because now all these properties that are part of Disney, or there's less studios willing to take up that project, is more damaging than, well, I just want to see Yellow Wolverine on the... Fuck you, man. Fuck yourself.
There have been articles that I've been seeing where Disney supposedly is saying that they don't want to mess with what's going on already. They still want to do an R-rated Deadpool and all this kind of... That's not going to happen.
Well, here's the fucking thing. And people are confusing this with, no, Daniel, there would still be a Logan. No, there would not be a fucking Logan. There's a difference between acquiring something that's already making you money, but they're not going to put Deadpool, this version of Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds. If they reboot Deadpool and make him PG-13, yes, you will see a Deadpool in the MCU. But they're not going to take R-rated fucking Deadpool and put him in fucking Infinity War Part 2. You're not going to see the R-rated characters in with the MCU. That's why, again, you don't see the fucking Defenders in Infinity War. That's not going to happen. Disney is big on... How big is Disney on brand protection, Kelli?
Oh, huge.
They're not going to be the ones to mix that shit up.
Right.
Yes, they will have their R-rated version of characters in the MCU, just like they have already with Netflix, but they're not going to be intermingling with the rest of the stuff that they're selling toys and t-shirts of.
And like we talked about 2 episodes ago, I believe, parents are going to be even more likely to take their kids to a Marvel movie now. So yes, you could have an R-rated Deadpool and again say, this is R-rated, this is R-rated, this is R-rated, not appropriate for children. But because it has that Disney name on it now, people are going to say, oh, well, it's Disney. And again, going back to brand protection, that's a brand that they've built, and obviously that's done very well for them because they're able to purchase all this shit. But we're not going to see what we would have if it had stayed separately.
Whoever pitched Logan to Fox, fuck you, because you're not going to do that shit again with Disney.
Mm-hmm.
All because of fucking goofy-ass characters that you rather see your version of. It is not fucking worth it. It is absolute bullshit.
As we mentioned in the beginning, though, we do have Hugh Jackman's thoughts on Wolverine joining the MCU. He recently spoke with Collider about this topic.
So he had previously said he would return to Infinity War if Disney were to buy out X-Men. So, okay, let's see what happened here.
He was working with Comcast, too.
A quote from Hugh Jackman who said, "It's interesting because for the whole 17 years, I kept thinking that would be so great. Like, I would love to see particularly Iron Man and the Hulk and Wolverine together. And every time I saw an Avengers movie, I could just see Wolverine in the middle of all of them, like punching them all on the head. But it was like, oh well, that's not going to happen. And it was interesting, just when I first saw that headline, it was just the possibility of it. And who knows what's going to happen. Obviously, I was like, hang on. But I think, unfortunately, the ship has sailed for me. But for someone else out there, I would like to see Wolverine in there." End quote.
I love Hugh Jackman, and I loved him as Wolverine. But that poor man is so old now. Just leave him alone. The physical toll alone, and we've talked about it before, to be Wolverine is insane.
And it seems like most fans are like, yeah, reboot the X-Men, just have a new Wolverine. It's like, yeah, there's your fucking loyalty, all the goddamn years that Hugh Jackman put into that shit.
Well, you never had, we saw Hugh Jackman Wolverine in the First Class universe, but they never really had their own Wolverine. So they could still keep First Class.
All of that shit is going away.
Damn it, I loved First Class.
I love First Class. I actually talked to someone who said that was their least favorite. I was like, what? Did you not see the Wolverine, or what was the first one? It was Wolverine, and then the Wolverine, and then Logan. Wolverine, I don't remember what the first one was fucking. It was the one with the original Deadpool. He had the Cyclops beams, Baraka Deadpool. Yeah.
That was bad.
So it's like, that was the worst X-Men movie, man. So you even say 3 was worse. First Class was the best. It was so fucking good. So amazing. And Hugh Jackman's in like 10 seconds of that fucking movie.
Yep. And it was awesome then, too. Anyway, leave Wolverine alone. Leave Hugh Jackman alone. Just let him... Is that still relevant? Leave Britney alone?
To people our age and up.
Okay. Let him do his musicals. I love his musicals. We're going to go see that new one.
The Ringling Brothers.
Based off it's not the name of it, but...
That's what I'm calling it.
Based off the circus with Zac Efron, who was also in The Disaster Artist. He played Chris R.
Oh, yeah, he was in that brief. Where's my fucking money, Denny? Where's my fucking money?
It was great.
I like how they're like, that guy's really intense.
Mm-hmm.
And I will still stand by, again, back to the room. I'm sorry. I said it on Twitter. His line delivery of, "You're tearing me apart, Lisa." That's legitimate. Like, I believed it. I believed it when I saw it on the Nostalgia Critic review. I believed it when we saw the movie. It's a solid line delivery. It's not bad.
He was probably really getting torn apart by all the terrible things they were saying about him. So he channeled all that in there.
And that's how you act.
Yes.
So he had a moment of like, is that not a good line?
Is that not a great line? "You're tearing me apart, Lisa."
Even though he is redoing.
Yes.
What's his name?
I don't
Rebel
remember.
Without a Cause.
Yes.
"You are tearing me apart, Lisa."
But he does it his own way, and it still works, like the emotion.
My favorite line is probably still, "They betray me, and I'm the fool."
It's a terrible...
"That's me. Hi, doggy."
All right, let's go ahead and start wrapping this show up by heading into our Patreon shout-outs of the week.
We have 2 shout-outs this week. The first goes out to Brian, whose Twitter handle is @BrianSchaub1.
He actually retweeted pregnant women winning Halloween. How much do you appreciate that?
I
you were
appreciate
pregnant during
it so
Halloween.
much. I was not pregnant during Halloween.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It was close, though.
It was close because I bought my pregnant Bulma costume and I never got to wear it. I was real sad.
Still, did pregnant women not win Halloween 2017,
they did.
though?
So they have some great costumes. They have one where you put on an avocado and your stomach is the pit. That's pretty cool.
That's beautiful. That's the best one.
Dude, no. The best one is where you put a chain necklace and put a Barbie on it, and then your Miley Cyrus's wrecking ball.
That's pretty good.
That one's my favorite. There's some where it's Winnie the Pooh in the pot of honey.
That's good too.
There's a gumball machine. There's some great ones. Pregnant women are really smart in figuring this stuff out.
I like the men who wear the avocado women pregnant outfit.
With the cutout for the stomach. I would have loved to have done something like that, but let me tell you, by that point in my pregnancy, I was done.
Yeah, you were going to be walking nowhere.
No, my ankles were like huge. They were like Hugh Jackman's arms in Wolverine. That's how big they were.
Your ankles couldn't handle it anymore.
No.
It's like Riggs
none
and
of me could
his
handle
neck
it.
and his head.
The-
Exactly right.
The last 3 weeks of my pregnancy, I just sat in bed. That was it. And it was wonderful. And I slept. Oh, I slept.
Next Patreon shout out also goes out to Christian on Twitter at Rocketman_131, who actually retweeted that Wolverine, Dr. Doom, and Mr. Fantastic joking, and that's the graphic I put together from Infinity War. I forgot to post one. I might do it after this, but it's one of Magneto, and he says, "This whole team has a magnetic personality," and it's got Drax laughing, ha 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 ha, and Thanos like, oh.
Oh my goodness.
Get ready for comedian Magneto, everyone. This is what you guys wanted.
Everybody's
Make
gonna be a
everything light
comedian.
and fun. Come on, guys. Stop being like DC.
It also seems like he is against the Fox-Disney merger as well.
He's an intellectual. An intellectual as well. Well done, Christian. Actually, Brian as well was like, that's not a good thing. The Broquettes are the smartest. We have the smartest listeners.
I have been chiming in on Facebook to some people who are like, look at this. And I'm like, I don't think this is a good thing. And they're like, well, I'll just wait and see.
Yeah,
There was one person I didn't even comment because he's like, now Disney can uphold their dream of making entertainment a fun and magical place for everyone. I'm like, oh my God.
That's not what this is,
I'm
you
like,
idiots.
clearly you don't watch the same kind of movies I do, but that's fine.
There's a tweet that pointed out the exact negatives of like, there's less studios and less properties, but Avengers and X-Men, am I right, guys? It's like exactly right. This is the fucking exchange of these fucking people. If people make fun of my generation, I'm not gonna fucking blame them. If people make fun of and they are, but it's like, this is the shit they're talking about. This non-critical thinking.
They also talk about how we ruin the economy because we're millennials, but whatever.
Every generation ruins the economy.
Yes,
Let's be
every
real.
generation.
But thank you so much, Patreon backers, Brian and Christian, and the rest of our Brokehead Core. If you would also like your shout out, head on over to patreon.com/thereasonsimebroke. Patreon did right, by the way, by its creators and the patrons by repealing the new, you saw that whole fucking mess. They put out an email apologizing from the bottom of their hearts. They said they're going to try to figure out something different, some different structure so that the buyers and the creators aren't being punished for. The big thing was if you backed a ton of people at the dollar amount, you would get hit by that same fee. And this is all because of them assuming that everyone backed their creators at like $10 or $5 and more. It's like, that's not the case. A lot of people do. We have backers that are only for $1. It's like, yeah, they back a bunch of people at $1 and they get hit with that fee. Why should they pay like $1.83 or whatever? And it didn't make any sense. Their whole graphic was messed up and they heard all about it on Twitter and they said, I'm sorry, we're backing off. The problem is it still hurt creators because a bunch of people left Patreon because of it. And that's when a lot of creators were like, if you guys are leaving Patreon, here's my PayPal link if you still want to support it. I understand why you left Patreon, but just understand that a lot of creators are affected by this change. And thankfully Patreon, like now it's damage control. Like everyone's still hurt because of it. But it's just like, okay, let's try to rebuild once again. So thankfully, Patreon did that change, and now that's not going to happen. And Now, at least for our backers this month, that's not going to affect them, and it didn't affect them thanks to the change and the repeal. So, again, patreon.com/thereasonsimebroke, and a huge thanks to decalavenue.com for the help at the $5 reward tier. And we do have a giveaway that we're doing.
A giveaway?
That's right. It's ending on January 15th. We're giving away the latest volume of the reprinting of Deathstroke the Terminator, and that is volume 3. So as we get more Patreon backers, which we did get like 2 or 3 in the last month, we can do more giveaways. And in this case, we're doing the trade paperback for Deathstroke the Terminator Volume 3. All you have to do is be a Patreon backer. That's it. If you're at the $1 level or higher, you're immediately entered as a part of this. So if you need another incentive, you get the episode early, you back the podcast, you get your shout out every single month, and you get entered in for podcast contests.
What if somebody jumps in at the $50 tier? Do they automatically win?
They only get one entry, Kelly. I am a tough but fair Patreon, I don't know what you would call that, like a contest giveaway. What the Ringling Brother? What's the circus guy? The main guy. I'm just trying to bring it back
Barnum and Bailey. No.
Yeah, the Ringling Brother, the Ringmaster. I guess I don't know what you call that.
Yeah.
I'm tough but fair.
Everyone gets one entry, but maybe the $50 one is the only entry.
You are corruption.
I am Palpa Kelly.
That's true.
I am what I am.
And you're also Popeye. I am what I am.
But I don't eat spinach.
That's true. No, I don't eat cooked spinach. That shit's nasty.
Yeah, it is. But it has more potassium in it than...
Don't forget, you can also leave us a voicemail. There's a link in the description, speakpipe.com/thereasonsimbroke. If you want to comment on one of the stories from today, or if you just want to shoot us a question, like, hey guys, what'd you think of this? Shoot it over on SpeakPipe, and we may feature you right here on the podcast. Not enough people use that, and I think it's exciting. It's something new, and you can be heard on the show. It's fun. Like, there's only 20 that we can take in a month, but be one of those fucking 20s. Jump right in, ask us a question. And then finally, the shirts on thereasonsimbroke.com.
You head over to reasonsimbroke.com, click on merch. I did this recently. It's awesome. It's going to pull up a page where you can see all our different shirt designs. When you click on one of those, it takes you over to tpublic.com. And you can choose all these different colors, different styles of shirts. You can get hoodies, you can get stickers, you can get pretty much anything you want with that logo on it. Except baby clothes. I did try to purchase baby clothes.
Baby clothes are in there, but I took them off because I wasn't sure. Our show is explicit. Like, how many people are putting an explicit show's logo on their baby?
I would put it on my baby.
All right, you tell me which logo you want, and I will fucking unlock that.
Unlock that shit.
So thank you so much to everyone that tuned in and to all of our backers. On to our comic book highlight of the week.
As we said in the very beginning, our comic book highlight is Batman TMNT II, #1. This is written by James Tynion IV, with art by Freddie Williams II, and the colorist is Jeremy Caldwell.
The first Batman TMNT crossover took the comic book world by storm. It was sold out. They did 4 different printings of this thing, of #1. Did extremely well. The second one didn't quite have the same reception or love as the first volume. But I will tell you, from a reading standpoint, as a reader, as whoever, all the creators behind the first TMNT, they came back for the second one, and it picks up right where the first one stopped.
It picks up with your favorite turtle being a baby.
That's the one fucking thing I do want to fucking complain about is Donatello's my favorite turtle, right? The thing with the turtles was always that they all are equal in skill set. They all have different personalities, though, and that's what makes them different and special. They all still trained under Splinter, and they train with each other. So a lot of people that say, well, Raphael, like now the thing is Raphael's the strongest, but he's got the temper. Leonardo's the leader. Donatello's the tech guy, so he's more like the strategist, and then Michelangelo's...
Mikey's the best. You calm down. Don't be laughing. Don't compare him to a Marvel character because he's not.
You should get mad because our characters are shit on as far as their skill set. They are shit on.
Yeah, but you know what's good about that? They come in dual packs of everything.
That's true.
So when I want to buy baby pacifiers, both the turtles are there.
Donatello's the Bulbasaur of the turtles.
Yes. What's Mikey?
Mikey's probably like the Charizard Mewtwo, not the Pikachu. I think Raphael is more popular than Michelangelo.
No, Raphael would be the Charizard.
Raphael's the Pikachu in terms of popularity, if we're translating this popularity.
What about Leo?
Leonardo is okay, so pick one, Mewtwo or Charizard. He's one of those, and the other one is Michelangelo. But my big thing still, again, and it goes back to it, is they made Donatello just like the cartoon, and I don't agree, or the movies, that he is the weakest fighter of the four, but it's his brains that make him so valuable. It's like, no, all of these turtles train with each other. They train with the supposed strongest Raphael, so all their skill sets would also be higher. They would not be fumbling around like in the comics that they're doing now, or like in the movies where he's just behind the computer. Look, Donatello could kick ass. Mikey could kick ass. They could all fucking kick ass and wreck. And it's because they work together that they can take down someone like Shredder. They still wouldn't be able to take down Splinter because the guy has so many years of experience. They're teenagers. That's what they're building into. But now they've made it so that there's actually one weaker and there's one strongest. And I don't agree with that. Again, they're brothers. They've trained their entire lives. They should be as strong as everyone else.
This is just a different version of them, Dan. Just like we get different versions of Batman.
That's true.
And we all have to be okay with it.
You're right. It is. And
I can understand why it's frustrating.
It's frustrating, I think, the most because they made it the plot point of this first issue. And it's like, no, that's not what... If you guys want to make him weak, sure, fine. But if you make it a plot point where he's like, well, I'm not as good as my brothers, I'm going to go over here and try... No, man, that's not Donatello.
I'm going to go find Batman.
Exactly. And the plot goes into Bane and Donatello switch dimensions right as Batman and Robin, and right as Batman and Damian, Robin is Dick Grayson, are about to kick fucking Bane's ass. Like, Bane's like, I'm fucking... I don't know what it fucking says.
I found the Lazarus pit.
No, you gotta remember, it's comic book Bane. He has the Hispanic accent.
Okay, so go ahead. Because my Hispanic accent sounds Italian.
I have found the Lazarus pit, and now I will take you down.
Mama Coco.
And I will protect you. I will protect Mama Coco from you, Batman. That's what he would fucking say. He would protect... That would be his Mama Coco.
He would protect Mama Coco.
So right as they're about to stop Bane, the dimension switch happens, and Donatello's like, holy shit, fucking Batman. And that's where the issue ends. And Bane actually switches into the TMNT world, and he's like, fuck these goddamn beach hands. Come on, Foot, I'll fucking take you out. I'm like, yeah, you guys are fucked. That's goddamn Bane.
That's pretty much the whole issue.
It really is. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the first series was.
Yeah. I'm glad it's back. It's going to build into something great. You know, we're going to have the rest of the Turtle Brothers wondering where Donnie went, and stuff is going to happen.
And I hope they rectify the fact that it's like, no, Donatello's still an amazing fighter. I don't know if they will. I doubt they will. Who knows?
What they're going to do instead is say, well, you're still just as valuable as the rest of the Turtles.
Yeah, that's what's going to fucking happen. And he'll be justified by Batman actually using him as well in the fucking thing.
Using his brain and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's still really interesting that they made Donatello such a prominent point in this because he is probably the least popular turtle. Mm-hmm. But I guess it doesn't matter because you have Batman in there, so you can team him up with anyone. But it would be cool to see Donatello teaming up with Damian and Batman. It's like, yes, this is what I want.
All your dreams are coming true.
And my dreams came true when they did animated series with TMNT. That was fucking amazing. So now all of this is gravy. It's all bonus. As much as I complain about Donatello, how they're handling him, I'm still fucking grateful.
They're bringing the animated series on Blu-ray. The rest of your life is gravy.
Oh, yes. Yes. I just got to live long enough to be able to watch all of that and share it with Leo. He needs to see the value. And I need to show him the greatest Batman everything that has ever existed.
We're going to have to show him TMNT II. He needs to see who he's named after.
That's true.
By the way, I'm rewatching The Mindy Project, right? Because I'm on maternity leave and I ran out of Boy Meets World. So I'm watching The Mindy Project. And I didn't realize she was with a Daniel.
Yeah, you pointed this out. That's crazy.
And she had a Leo baby. And they spend several episodes in the show, like whenever they talk about his name being Leo, she always says it's after DiCaprio. He says it's after Da Vinci. And I sit over here and go, mine's after the turtle.
That's amazing.
Yes, so it makes me very happy. And Mindy and Kelli, they're kind of close.
Kind of, I guess, yeah.
Not really. Oh, well. And then I learned...
Well, she played Kelli in The Office.
Oh, she did.
Boom.
Boom. Done.
So
DCO'd.
Daniel from Mindy Show marries Kelli from The Office.
Yes.
And Daniel from your fucking podcast marries, Kelli from the podcast. Done. All matches. Everything matches. Same universe.
I learned of a new phrase, though, a new term for people. It's called a coconut.
Brown on the outside, white on the
inside. Yes. Mindy is a coconut.
Is that derogatory? Is that offensive?
I don't know. She responds with, why? Because I fall on people's heads out of trees? I love the Mindy show.
So there you go. I don't think there's anything else to say. I mean, Batman TMNT is awesome. It's solid. If you like the first series, you should definitely get the second one. It's right there. The artwork is amazing from Freddie Williams. The first 6 issues from the first series are available on hardcover and softcover. So if you want a more affordable version, get the softcover, and you can catch up and pick up the first issue, which is on stands right now at your local comic book shop.
But that will do it for our podcast this week. If there's anything you want us to talk about next week, anything you want to talk to us further about, like this great merger that happened, or anything else that we have to say, you can hit us up on Twitter at ReasonsI'mBroke, at Kelli. Like we say every week, the reason we do this show is for all of you. So we love to hear from you. We love to respond to you. It may take me a few days till Daniel comes over and says, Kelli, you got Twitter things. And I'm like, oh, tweets.
But thank you for sending stuff over to Public.
Yes,
I see
thank
that,
you.
And
I appreciate
retweet it. And I tell Kelli, like, hey, you got to respond to this. You have a Twitter, you know.
And I say, I'm taking care of your son.
And I know a lot of podcasts go on a break during the holiday season. So we're happy to be there. If you are a brand new broquette that's like, yeah, you know, I didn't really, most of my shows are on break, and let me try to find the new one. If you found our show through that, thank you so much. I know a lot of people get a new iDevice during the holidays, and pre-installed, at least I think they still are, is Apple Podcasts. And if you subscribe through that, thank you so much for making us one of your first podcasts that you subscribe to. And we hope you found something in the episode that you laughed or found informative or that you enjoyed.
Are we like the best friend trying to shove out the boyfriend? Like, oh, I'm still here.
Kind of.
I'm not going away for the holidays.
So thank you again, Broquette Core. I'm Daniel.
I'm Kelli.
We'll see you next week.